It's time again to put all your troubles and sorrows away, walk down the street, go upstairs, and embrace the wonderful thing that continues to be heavenly album covers. You know, the most horrible, which is the business of Kenneth. Kenneth Glover was known as the singing missionary. He was an electrifying singer, and sometimes he wrote spiritual songs. Kenneth Glover here was born in Newark, New Jersey, and he started singing when he was 3 years old. I'm not sure what he sang, but he was only 3. And as time went on, he sang at hospitals. He devoted his time to singing at churches and various institutions. And even at one point, he turned down a career in rock music to focus on his spiritual life. And Kenneth belonged to the Baptist church. He worked out of Los Angeles mostly, but he traveled far and wide and sang. He had a beautiful voice. And all of these records we're going to cover here were on B&K Records. Sometimes it's known as B&K Productions, but Kenneth Glover consistently had a consistent record label that he released and distributed albums from. So this is the album we already showed a few episodes ago. It's called Oh Holy Night, Kenneth Glover. He's standing inside the nativity scene, and he's gazing at the animals and baby Jesus here. And you could look back on the previous episode and hear more about this album. Next up is Kenneth's album called Rejoice in His Great Name. And here it's very clear that Kenneth is a singing missionary. He's dressed up in his spiritual robes here. He's at the podium. And it looks like he's actually signed this album here, I think. And here's a woman laying on hands. I think they're laying hands on each other, but they're having a very spiritual time here at the podium in the church. And the great thing about Kenneth Glover's albums is they have really great back covers. Usually they feature Kenneth talking and interacting with other celebrities and people of the community. And here's Kenneth at the bottom here. He's singing, rejoicing. He's doing his thing. And this is Dr. Mary Ross. I'm not sure who she is, but she was probably a very important person in the community. And here's Kenneth with some other people that he knew and enjoyed. Next up is an album called Lord, Here Am I. And this album is definitely signed by Kenneth down here in the corner. Looks like he signed it to, I'm not sure, maybe Helen Williams down here. And Kenneth is wearing his trademark robe here with the cross around his neck. He was a very devout person. Looks like he just took this photo in an impromptu manner. The cover is very simple, but it's really nice, and the lettering is very clear. Kenneth has a very proud and happy look on his face here, and his hands are relaxed. Next up is an album called Let Me Sing a Song for You. Kenneth Glover is described as a dynamic gospel and concert artist. And here's Kenneth. He's in the thralls of spiritual unity here. He's singing out. He's got a great expression on his face. Kenneth was a very handsome man and a very striking individual. We've only got a few albums here, but I think Kenneth did even more albums. I keep finding them, different albums that he released. And here's Kenneth Glover. He's looking up towards heaven. He always took a great picture. I've never seen a bad photograph of Kenneth Glover. And of course, Kenneth was traveling on faith. Faith is one of the cornerstones of the church. Next up is an album called If I Can Help Somebody, the touching voice of Kenneth Glover. And here we have Kenneth attending to a man in a wheelchair with his nurse. This album is in stereo. I'm not sure what they've done with Kenneth's robe here. It looks like they removed the previous robe and put this one in, like pasted it in. It looks kind of photoshopped, and Kenneth looks very concerned here about the old man, and the nurse is looking on with devotion. Let's get a little bit closer here. You can see that the robe Kenneth is wearing is a little bit odd, but from a distance it looks okay. Here's a proud, faith-driven man here. He's getting through hard times, and the nurse is there to help him along through life. Let's look on the back. There's always something good on a Kenneth Glover back album cover. Here are plenty of photographs. Let's look through them all. There's Kevin and his mother, or Kenneth and his mother. Kenneth attending to a woman in the hospital, or is that a man? I think it's a man. And there's some other people, his godmother. Kenneth is in the hospital visiting infirm people in need of help. And there's some other people down here. I think that's actor Charlton Heston. And Kenneth got to meet a lot of local politicians and movers and shakers. And here at the bottom are some advertisements for other albums. And on to another album. Just a couple more to go here. This is another signed album called God Holds Tomorrow, featuring the electrifying voice of Kenneth Glover. Here's the signature, I believe. And looks like a lot of these albums were previously owned by Helen Williams. Not sure who she is, but she had the albums. And on this album, looks like Kenneth is wearing a green robe or maybe a turtleneck sweater. Again, he's looking up to heaven. He's really happy that he's able to sing and to sing for other people and to bring happiness to them. And the flip side should have some more photos here. And there's Martin Luther King. And here's Kenneth praying over the grave of John F. Kennedy. As this album cover says, it says that Kenneth is the most distinguished singing missionary in the country today. And again, there's some advertisements for additional albums. And we've got 2 more albums to go. This one's called He Touched Me. And there's Kenneth standing in front of the open arms of Jesus. Kenneth looks very passionate. I'm not sure where this was taken. Looks like it's in front of some stonework. And it's a very perfectly balanced cover. The color is very nice. And once again, we have many, many photos of Kenneth meeting and greeting people. He's meeting an Air Force man here. He's here meeting someone at a correctional facility. This is Senator Mervyn Dimely. There's Tom Bradley, the mayor of Los Angeles. And Sugar Ray Robinson, the fighter. So, and last but not least, here's one of the most stunning album covers by Kenneth Glover. This one is sealed. It's beautiful. And Kenneth is wearing a shiny, shiny golden robe. He's standing in front of some palm leaves and a attractive, vertically driven backdrop. His name and title is very effective. It's wonderful. It's gold lettering, and Kenneth was not shy about wearing extravagant clothing. He felt that was part of his mission to entertain people. This album is called Saved by His Power Divine, and Kenneth has a perfect, absolutely perfect expression on his face. And let's look finally at the back here. We have more pictures of Kenneth. Here he is with Jesse Jackson, some fans, and here he is with the mayor of Las Vegas, and some more albums that you could buy. So that's the albums, but last but not least, I found this 8-track by Kenneth. It's not working right now. The tape is all screwed up, but I think I can open the shell and repair it. But this album is called Walking by Faith. It's a real 8-track tape, and I'm sure it still works somehow. And Kenneth has a very interesting posture there. He's in the thralls of religious fervor. And this is Kenneth Glover here as I lose my voice.